that. So yeah.
Another question is, there's a lot of people who want to good looking, get in shape, and few trainers are providing steroids to their customers.
Customers and everything else.
Yeah, and they're providing stuff, even though they are not competing. So in the UK, kind of these trainers exist.
Obviously that happens everywhere in the world. It does happen everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
But I always feel like no matter what you do, you cannot change what people's view. You can't change what people will do and won't do. Same thing, you can't change people from committing crime. It's just what happens in this world.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like if you're an athlete and you're at that point, it is your personal decision to make if you want to cross that line. Don't let it be pushed on you by anybody else. You know, do your research over and time again, and make that decision intelligently. You know, make that decision wisely based off the facts and everything else. Don't listen to what someone say. Oh, take this, it will make you better. Take this, no. Because this is the way you go down a very slippery slope with that. So I feel like, you know, basically, when I knew I was ready to step things to the next level, I've been competing. I did my first few shows completely natural. You know, I've been doing it for years, and I feel like, okay, for me to take to the next level of actually consider being a pro, this is a line I'm going to have to cross. So I knew that it was a personal decision of me. I chose to do that, and I spoke to the right people. I got the right information. I had to research time and time. And I saw what the cons were. I saw what the pros were. I did all my research myself. So when I came to make that decision, it wasn't forced on me by anybody else. So I just say to the athletes, you know, regardless of what your trainer says, take this, do this, you want to get next level. Do your own research yourself. Figure out things yourself and make sure you're ready to make that decision. Don't let it be forced upon you.
So you're gonna compete the Monster Gym in this year, and the coronavirus are forcing you to hard situations. So can you tell us, your Korean fans, about this situation and what's your next step?
All right. So basically, I started prep in January for the Arnold in South America in April. So I started prep 4 weeks before the show, or 6 weeks before the show. Basically, the coronavirus epidemic happened, and basically what happened was all the shows got cancelled and postponed. So we had a decision at the time to say, okay, what do you want to do? Do you want to call it a year and just rest, or do you want to carry on working? So I felt like, okay, you know what? I'll carry on pushing through. I'll carry on training. I'll carry on prepping for a show. And eventually, when the pandemic is over, whatever show comes up, I'll be ready for. So that was the plan to start with. So we had the Arnold Classic was postponed and then cancelled. British Grand Prix was postponed. New York Pro postponed. Chicago Pro postponed. California. So all this show, we were 7 weeks out, cancelled. 7 weeks out, postponed. 7 weeks out. So we kept on going all year. And then eventually we got to August and they had a Tampa Pro just a few weeks ago. And I got ready, set up, got all my paperwork from the US Embassy, flying to the US to compete in Tampa Pro. Me and my partner, we got to the airport and they told me, no, you're not allowed to fly. You can't fly. You know, and for me, it was like, come on, man, look, I got my paperwork, why can't I fly? Well, and they say like, no, we can't grant you permission. So I ended up missing that show. Literally after months and months of work, I missed that show. So after that, we kind of looked and go, okay, what's the next show we can compete at? And then South Korea was the next one, you know, the Monster Gyms. So we said, okay, let's look for that. So we kind of look and research into that show and speaking to promoters, and they said to us, if you come to Korea, you're going to have to quarantine for 14 days in a hotel room, you know, by yourself, locked away. Are you ready? Are you willing to consider that? And everybody else said to me, no. As a pro open bodybuilder, no. You 2 weeks before a show, quarantine, and then go into the stage. It can't happen. It will never happen for you. No, don't do it. So we sat there and we said, okay, what do we have to lose? You know, I said, you know what, I believe that when people say to you something cannot be done, I feel like it's my obligation and my right to say, look, if I got the strength and the mental strength to do it, I'll prove to you that, yeah, it can be done. So basically we said, no, we're going to do it. So we flew into Korea, about 3 weeks ago, stayed in the hotel room, did the quarantine thing. I was training in the hotel room with bands, you know, with free weights, body weights, you know, press-ups, everything. I was getting ready for the show. Food, we weren't allowed to bring food, like order any food. So we had my bags that we brought. We put all frozen meat and stuff in it, protein shake, put it all in my bag. I didn't even carry many clothes. I literally just had food all in. Took that with us so I can actually maintain my look for 2 weeks. And then we did the 2 weeks of quarantine, went through it, you know, and on the 14th day when I'm allowed to, I was finally coming to get released from the quarantine. the show was postponed by 2 weeks.
That could be an opportunity.
It was an opportunity because at
Yeah.
the first time, I looked at it and I was like, oh my God, this is not happening. This is crazy. Again, what more can you do? This is that. But then after I sat back and we started looking at it and going, you know what? Look at the bright side of it. Look at the upside of it. Be positive about it. Think about it. So it basically allowed me to come out of quarantine and go back into a gym, eat properly again. And my body just seemed to get better and look better from it. And now with the show happening next week, we feel like we're a lot stronger now than where we would have been if we went straight from quarantine to the show. So upon all, it's been a big up and down, and it's been loads of battles and loads of obstacles in our way. You know, we haven't given up. We've found a silver line in every obstacle that's come along, and we've capitalized on that. So yeah, it's been a crazy story, but you know, I'm here in South Korea for the first time. I'm looking around how beautiful this place is, and obviously getting a chance to meet guys like this and doing interviews like this and speaking to South Korean people and fans out there. And I want to say, man, I take a lot of pride in that, and I'm really grateful to have this opportunity.
I mean, I can say that this is athlete. This is bodybuilder. 진짜 여러분들께서도 보시면 알겠지만은 이게 보디빌더입니다. 이게 보디빌더고 이게 프로 보디빌더의 마인드셋이라고 얘기할 수 있겠습니다. 진짜 어떤 이렇게 코로나 바이러스에 굴하지 않고 지금까지 계속 하지만 이제 포지티브한 마인드로 여기까지 달려왔고 이제 몬스터짐 어떤 대회를 앞두고 있는데 와 진짜.
Alright, so basically we got the Monster Gyms next weekend on Sunday, the 6th of September. And I just want to say, obviously, to Korean fans that, I mean, since I've been here, I've received so many messages and so many support from all the Korean fans. And I want to say, look, believe me, it means so much to have so many support, especially for me, who's just a foreign guy that just came here to compete and get so much love and respect and honor from you guys. And I just say it's a big pleasure. And I want to say I'm going to do my best next week to bring my best to the show. And I truly want to remember this experience as a positive one because it really has been, regardless of what's happening with the coronavirus epidemic and everything else. It's been a positive one, and I'm truly honored to be here. I'm truly honored for the support. And, you know, thank you very much for all the support you guys given me. You know, it's really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
Stay tuned, brothers. Thanks, bro.
Thanks, bro. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Come on, bro, let's go right here.